understand.
I don't understand.
There are a lot of things we don't understand. I don't understand.
We need answers from you.
Hi everyone, my name is Rob, and today we're going to cover the search menu. We'll start at the top with the state toggle. By default, it is set to in-state. This eliminates businesses that have coverage in but are headquartered outside of your state. It's useful when you're not using location criteria, and it'll come up in a later example. Moving on to location options, you can switch between county or zip code, and moving down, you can do a range or a pick list for your class or SIC codes. Point these out first because changing them will erase any other information you've already entered in your search menu. Keep that in mind. The date range has some shortcut options where you can pick out your own using the calendar. The industry options is an easy way to target a broad group, and it's pretty useful if you're using one of the additional filters. It might make it a bit too narrow for individual codes. OSHA violations, for example. If you want to focus on a few specific codes, the pick list is a good option. That's what's illustrated here. A good tip is to hit the enter key a second time. That'll remove your text. You can also type in the description if you're unsure of the numerical code. Carrier targeting, you can target by group or individual carriers. You can also use the exclude function if you're looking to avoid anyone, as we'll do in this example. I'm not going to use it, but I do want to point out that if agency data is available in your state, it is searchable. And we've also taken a couple steps to normalize the name variations a little bit. Same with the PEOs. And one thing to point out is that the include exclude toggle applies to those entries as well. So you can exclude your agency from the search or target others. With the policy filters, you can target or exclude assigned risk business as well as PEOs. Assigned risk, not in all states. Some states are state funds, but yeah, if you're assigned risk, you can exclude, as we will here. Standard premium, that refers to workers' comp premium. We recently adjusted the way this works a couple months ago, so you can either treat it as a range where you put in both values, or you can just put one value in, leaving it open-ended, so like a greater than or less than type filter. If we wanted to, we could also use one of the additional filters. Like I said, it kind of can become overly restrictive when you've got just a few class codes, but I will point out premium increase and decrease because they're kind of down at the bottom. You have to scroll to see them. Most of us still recognize the floppy disk. This will open the save menu. You can set your dates as a range, which will update that date range as time passes. So when you come in tomorrow, the dates will move forward a day. You can also just set the dates so that every time you open the search, it'll be set to the dates that you put in. Give it a name, hit save, and good to go. Moving back to the pipeline, my new search is in my saved searches, top of the page. And if you want, we'll kind of cover this in a later video, but there are list assignment options. So if you got a telemarketer that needs to get that list, you can send it over to them. The little orange X will delete it, and there you go. We'll finish up with a couple name search scenarios that are worth knowing about. The first is when the business is domiciled outside of your state. Even if you don't know it, our system does. That is where the state toggle is going to become useful. So we can see here, Cheddar's Restaurant is actually owned by Darden Restaurants, headquartered in Florida. Good luck with that one. The second thing worth knowing is the name search acts as a contains search. So what that means is basically less is more. If you know the account as James McCauley Inc., that might not be how it's reported. So get creative. James is probably going to give you a lot of returns, but Macaulay, on the other hand, is worth giving a shot. And as you can see here, get to what you need. Other than that, the phone lookup works pretty well. 10-digit number with or without hyphens. And it was kind of added date earlier last year for a couple guys who were looking for a way to basically do a reverse phone lookup. Prospect is calling you back, kind of not be standing there with your hands in the air. One last thing I forgot to cover with date ranges. List sorting gets a little funky when they cross into a new year. They're all there. If you want an entire year of something and it's under 2,000 records, your best option is to leave the date range blank and use the page scrolling. Or you could split it into two searches by changing the date ranges. That's it. We made it. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the knowledge base for more learning resources.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
understand